Hey lovelies, I hope you're well. My name's Tarina and I'll be taking you through a nice gentle seated practice today. We won't be doing any stand-in poses. You don't need any props, but as always, if you like to have a block handy beside you, grab one now and I shall see you in a seated position in the center of your mat. So finding that comfortable seated position for you, it may be cross-legged today, you could sit on your shins if that's comfortable, or you can pop yourself on a block if you do have one handy and you like to have your seat a little bit higher than your knees. Maybe that's a little bit comfortable for you. So find what is your pose today. Once you have, let's close those eyes down. Taking our time today to center ourselves, to arrive on the mat to our practice. I want you to imagine the room that you're in. Imagine all of the walls, the parameters of the room. And imagine what's in that room. And I want you to bring your focus inwards to about half the size of that room. So imagine you have a circle. And anything outside of that circle, you forget about. Focus in on what's within those lines. And that circle gradually starts to get smaller and smaller. Until it meets the edges of your mat. We're allowing ourselves to forget about anything that does not need to be with us for today's practice. So anything that is not within the corners of this mat. Trying to let that go. And then bringing your focus to your breath. Feel the breath enter in through the nostrils, going down the back of the throat, filling up the lungs. And then go in the opposite way on your exhale. As always, really allowing that belly to expand on your inhale, creating space for the lungs to expand as big as they can. And getting rid of every last bit of air on your exhale. Maintaining that depth of breath. Let's get intentional with our seated position today. So really rooting down through whatever is connecting with your mat. So maybe that's your sit bone, the sides of the shins, and then starting to grow through the crown of the head. Maybe sit a little bit taller at the same time, making sure we're relaxing our shoulders down the back. Bringing the chin nice and parallel to the floor. Maybe we have a gentle feeling of engaging the core by gently pulling that belly button back towards the spine. Maybe lifting up a tiny bit through the pelvic floor area, perineum for the guidance. Just a couple more breaths here. You have the option to keep the eyes closed. Otherwise, you can flicker them open, return back into the room. When you're ready, we're going to gently start to move on with the practice. Dropping the chin down towards the chest. Allow the head to be really nice and heavy. Then bring it back up through center. Allow it to drop all the way down the back. Just do that a few more times. Bringing the head through center. Allow the head to drop down. And then back the opposite way. Two more times. Bring that head forward. Let it hang nice and heavy. Feel the stretch throughout the entire back of the neck. And then the opposite way. One last time. And all the way down the back. And then bringing that head back to center. And dropping the left ear over to the left shoulder. We're going to take some circles. So continuing to warm up and get into the neck. So bring the head down the back. Rolling the right ear over to the right shoulder. Chin comes down to the chest. And keep going in your own time. You can go as fast or as slow as you need today. Don't feel like you need to stay with my timing. Use this practice to work through any kinks or any feelings you have in the body today. And it may be different to another time that you've done this video. That's absolutely fine. Paying attention to your body. One more in this direction. Really feel the weight of the head rolling around here. And then after your last one in this direction, just go in the opposite way. You can go as fast or as slow as you need. It may be different to the other side. Last one. Take a full circle. And then return the head back to center. Bringing the hands to either side of the body, fingertips are on the floor. Reaching the left hand out, up and over. Let's have a nice lateral side bend here. Dropping the left ear away from the shoulder as much as you can. And as always, thinking about opening up that chest, so avoid as much as you can from rounding downwards. And the same thing you want is on the right side. You want to start to extend through this right side of the body as much as you can, rather than dumping down. So don't think about coming down onto the forearm. Think about lengthening through the right hand, maybe coming up on the fingertip. Take 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, return back to center. Keep going. Allow the right hand this time to come up and over as the left fingertips connect to the mat. Maybe you look up out those right fingertips, dropping the right shoulder away from the ears. Again, have a sense of reaching through both sides of the body here. Open that chest. Say hello to the ceiling with your chest. Last breath. Return the body back to center. Bring the hands to knees or the thighs. And take some seated cat-cows here to get into the chest and into the spine. So on your inhale, pull that chest forward as much as you can. Open it up. Maybe even let out a little smile. And then as you exhale, tuck the belly button back towards the spine to initiate this curve-like movement in the body. Tuck the chin towards the chest. 3 more. Inhale, pull that chest forward as much as you can. Arch the spine. Your gaze can come up to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck everything under. Separate the shoulder blades. Tuck the chin. Inhale, lift that chest. Exhale, go the opposite way. One more. And exhaling. Return that chest back to neutral, and then start to walk those hands out in front of you over the body. If you were on your shins, trying to make your way to a cross-legged position, so we can start to open up the hips. Go as far as you can. It's absolutely okay if you're still up on the hands. If you have a block and you want to use it, you can bring the floor a little bit closer to you so you're not going as deep. Maybe you bring the forearms to the block. Or maybe if you're feeling a little bit open today, you can bring the hands to the floor, make a little pillow with the hands so you can rest your forehead down. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. Keep trying to reach both sit bones into the mat as much as you can. And trust that your body is supporting you here. Using your exhales to let go a little bit more. Maybe you're gripping onto the thighs here. If you are, again, just using those exhales to allow yourself to release. Last 2 breaths here. And gently start to bring the torso back up to seated. Walking the hands back in towards the body. Once you have, reaching the hands up overhead. As you exhale, release the left hand behind you, the right fingertips come in front of you. Maybe you can take the right hand, place it onto the outside edge of that left thigh, twist the body open a little bit more. Again, see if we can sit nice and tall in the spine, stacking the hips, rib cages and shoulders all in one long line. One last breath here. And then just returning the torso back to center, swapping the legs over so that the leg you don't usually put in front is in front now. To even out the body, slowly start to walk those hands back out. This may feel really weird because we're not used to crossing our legs in the opposite way than we like to naturally do. So take a moment here if you need to, just to ease the body into first, maybe just sitting in this cross-legged position. Maybe that's enough for you today. If you've been here for a few breaths now, option to walk those hands out if you haven't already. And then find that comfortable position for you, as comfortable as you can be here. Resting down. Again, bringing that attention back to your breath. If you found that you've lost the depth that you were breathing into at the beginning of today's practice, use this time to return back to that. One last deep breath. And slowly start to walk those hands back in towards the body. Finding an upright position with the torso. Take an inhale, reach those hands up overhead. Exhale, this time we're reaching the right hand behind us, left hand in front. Option to take this left hand and placing it on the right thigh. Get a little deeper in that twist. Again, sitting nice and tall in the spine. 2 more breaths, maybe turning up the corners of the mouth. Let out a little smile. And slowly bring that torso back to neutral. Bring the hands to either the knees or the thighs. Let's take some circles with the torso now. So bring that torso over to the left, trying to isolate the ribs. Bring it to the front. Take the ribs over to the right. All the way to the back as if someone's punched you in the belly. And then back over to the left. Again, take these in your own time. You might find you have some clicks in the spine, the hips or the ribs. If you do, enjoy that release that your body is doing, that your body is allowing you to do right now. All of that is tension that is built up in your body. After your last one in that direction, just go the opposite way. Take your time, or maybe go a little bit faster. Last one. Really nice. Bring the body back to neutral. Once you have, allow yourself to gently roll over the shins, and we're going to come to find our final pose today, our child's pose. So bring in the knees as wide as the mat, bring the toes nice and close together. Gently start to walk the hands out in front of you along your mat. You have the option, if you do have your block by you today and you like to use it in your child's pose, just to bring the floor a little bit closer. Rest the forehead on the block. Equally, if you want to go a little bit deeper and you have your block, bring the arms, the triceps to your block, and rest the chest down towards the floor. Hold in here, keep allowing that chest to open up and drop towards the mat. Just take a moment to check in with yourself to see if you're holding on to any muscles. Again, maybe you're squeezing the thighs, maybe even the arms this time too. If you are, try as much as you can to relax them on your next exhale. And maybe it takes a few exhales to really allow yourself to release. Feel free to stay here in your child's pose for as long as you need to today. Thank you, as always, for practicing with me. And I'll see you on the mats next time.